Hi, what I'm working on here is one of the flattest monitors in the world. Now you've heard a lot about flat TV sets, full and flat square picture tubes, but if you look very carefully at this picture which is coming to you right now, you'll find that your TV tube is actually not all that flat. It's actually kind of curved, and if you see it from a real sharp angle, you'll really begin to notice how curved it is. Well, the difference with monitors like this today and a few very expensive television sets is that their displays are paper flat. And what we are going to be looking at today is some of these displays as well as what monitors you can go out and buy at a far more affordable price than what these are going to cost, so that you can actually decide what's the best monitor for you. And that's an important decision because you spend all your time looking not at your computer when you're working on it, but at the monitor. But our story really begins with something else, with a 14-inch monitor. And in fact, if you go out and buy a PC today, especially a low-cost PC, that's most likely the monitor you're going to buy. It's the cheapest thing to do. It costs about 6,000 or 6,500 rupees, and it gives you full color. So actually, it's quite a capable thing to go and get a 14-inch display. But the nice thing today is that you have a lot more options, and one of them is this. Now this is a 15-inch monitor, and in fact it's what most home users would like to buy today. And if you're buying a computer, this is also the monitor that we would like to recommend, any good 15-inch monitor. Now it may not sound like there's a lot of difference between 14 and 15 inches, just 1 inch, but in reality what you tend to find is that most 15-inch monitors have a lot more features. For one thing, they tend to be flatter than most 14-inch monitors. Then you'll find they have a lot of digital controls like this, which actually let you adjust the picture, set your favorite settings, and so on. You find overall that that little extra inch actually packs in many more features than you'd really expect in a 14-inch display. Therefore, today, what has really happened is that the 15-inch display has gotten very popular, and that's for one more reason. These used to be kind of expensive earlier. They used to be twice or even more than the price of a 14-inch monitor. Today, the difference is not more than a couple of thousand rupees. So you can go to the market, spend something like 8,000 rupees and actually pick up one of these monitors. Of course, this particular one is a Sony Trinitron, and that's far more expensive than the other ones. But pretty much any 15-inch display today is a good option for a home PC user. But what if you want something much bigger? Well, you can go in for a 17-inch monitor. Now that is a really big monitor, and it is going to cost you quite a bit more. But again, as with all monitors, prices have really come down. So you can start getting a 17-inch monitor at something like 14 or 15,000 rupees today. And with such a big monitor, you very often also have speakers built into the side of the monitor like this. And in fact, you can even buy a 15-inch monitor with speakers like that. Now when you do, they actually save you space. So even though the monitor is much bigger, because you don't need separate multimedia speakers for your computer, you can actually end up saving some space. Such a large display will also give you more work area. So it's not just for playing games and seeing multimedia and fun and action in bigger, brighter colors. It's also for being able to work on a larger spreadsheet, something like an Excel spreadsheet, or work with Word in one window and Excel in another and some other software. So people who are doing a lot of things together would love such features, such as a big, large monitor. You can of course get to even higher size monitors, for instance 20 inches, 21 inches, but very few professionals would actually go in for those sizes because those are really monster monitors and they can cost something like 1,00,000 rupees. Now this is also a 17-inch monitor, but like I said in the beginning, it's absolutely flat. And if you want to go for one of these, you'll have to spend somewhere between 23 and 30,000 rupees. This one, called the LG Flatron, is about 23 or 24,000 rupees. And because it's completely flat, it's paper flat, just like a sheet of paper kept on a table, you'll find that pictures are more uniform, they're sharper, you can see them from any angle and they won't vary across the screen. And professional designers and a lot of others would really value this feature. You can also get these monitors from Samsung and other companies. They use different technologies inside, but basically they have this one feature, they're absolutely flat. And in fact, television sets too are coming in with features like this. Sony has the Vegatron, which costs something like 70 or 80,000 rupees, and that too has a completely paper flat monitor. Finally, there's one more place you can get absolutely flat displays, and that is on a notebook PC. Now, a notebook computer actually has almost the perfect kind of display. It's thin, it's razor sharp, it's full color, and it doesn't hurt your eyes because there is very little radiation from it. A notebook computer like this, an ultra portable which I carry around with me quite often, it's really light, uses a 10-inch display. That doesn't sound like a lot because you're used to 14, 15 or 17 inches on your desktop, but actually it's quite substantial. And in fact, a flat screen like this gives you a lot more space than you'd expect in 10 inches. In fact, if you want to take a look at the largest notebook computer display in the world, well, almost, this is it. This is a 14.2-inch active matrix display on an HP notebook. Now, this display is actually bigger than a 15-inch desktop monitor, and that's because of the nature of the flat screen that is there. So the question you'd probably be asking is, well, why not use displays like this on your desktop? Now, that's a very good question, and a lot of manufacturers are trying to answer it by creating desktop displays which are based on active matrix. They're much thinner than ordinary monitors, and however, they do cost a lot more too. If a 15-inch display is going to cost you something like 15,000 rupees, a 15-inch thin display, a thin TFT display from a notebook on a desktop would be something like 75,000 rupees. With those kind of prices, your best bet today is really these 15-inch conventional CRT monitors, as they're called. But they're quite okay too, and if you're careful with them, they can really serve you well. Here's a tip. If you're being bothered by reflections or unclear picture on your monitor, just do a simple thing. Turn the monitor off and look at it carefully to see if it catches any points of light or any reflection that you can see. Adjust the monitor so you eliminate that reflection and then switch it on again, and you'll find it's a lot easier to use. Enjoy your computing.